But you are trying.
I gave up $35 million. Get it right.
Okay.
You could have done that.
That's fair. Yeah, but he is smartly and I think correctly trying to make a good first impression, which he clearly has done. He is trying to dispel or change the image that he has had in some quarters of being a little aloof and, doesn't have great relationships.
Sure.
He is trying to maybe dispel what he thinks are unfair narratives about him. But now, as we get closer and closer to actual football games, what I think is going to, if it has not already, start to set in on Aaron is, man, I bit off a lot here. There are some positives to going from the smallest city in North America that has a pro sports team to the biggest. But there are also some negatives. There are some positives to potentially a fresh start, but there are also some negatives of over the last decade, basically, if my team didn't do well, there were a lot of fingers pointed at people other than me. Mike McCarthy doesn't know what he's doing, or McCarthy's gone. Gutekunst doesn't give him enough weapons. They don't spend enough on the receiver position. All of these things. Now, with everyone loving the Jets defense, everyone talking Super Bowl, they were 7-9 with the worst quarterback play in the league. What are they going to be with Aaron Rodgers? I think it is an ominous task. And I'm not killing him for being impatient, for getting frustrated with the players. I'm simply saying I think it is a reflection of the reality with which he is walking into right now.
Well, let's keep it going. Let's take a look at the Jets' schedule. As we've talked about for a while now, that first column is quite tough. To zoom in on the defensive ranks, Bills were 6th, Cowboys were 12th, Patriots are 8th. They'll be even better this year. Holy cow. Chiefs are 11th, which is not great, but they are going to put up 35 points. Broncos will be great, and then you got the Eagles. So how important is a hot start in light of this tough schedule to begin the season?
Hot start is too strong. All right. They need a solid start. That's it. All right. Because
which is what?
Well, I did a little graphic.
Okay.
Dusty?
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see Bruce's little graphic. Go ahead. It's coming up.
It's coming up in
Dustin,
a moment.
There it is.
There we go. Okay, that's tough to see. But look, I've got them. Their first 6 games, we know those are really tough. If they go 3-3, that's what I call solid. Split with Buffalo and Dallas, beat your Patriots, lose to the Chiefs, and I think this is realistic. Beat Denver and lose to the Eagles.
Someone said,
and then the next week, after the bye week, the schedule lightens up.
Yeah.
They can go 4-1 because they got the Giants. I'm giving them a loss to the Chargers. Like I said, I'm trying to just be fair. Beat the Raiders, split with the Bills, so they beat the Bills, beat Miami, and then they beat Atlanta and
that's 11-6.
Houston. That's 11-6. Now, if they start 2-4, let's say they don't split with
I agree with you, actually, that they don't need a hot start. They need to avoid a disastrous start.
Right.
I don't think they can. So I think that week 3 game against the Patriots is an absolute must-have game in a game that to Wilds, how many times have they beaten the Patriots?
14 in a row.
14. The Patriots have beaten them 14 in a row. I'm not saying they won't beat the Patriots. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is I don't think they are going to win at Dallas. If we can take Brew's projected schedule down just for a moment, because it's going to be.
And that is not a prediction. Okay, that's just right now. I'm throwing that out.
Wait, what do you mean?
I think that's ridiculous. I think that's realistic.
So those win-losses.
Well, we'll make our picks.
Oh, okay, I got it. That's like a theoretical.
I just think that's realistic.
Okay,
and I was trying to be fair. They're not going to win all these games.
The Jets start. Bill. Going forward would be a disaster. So because I agree with Brew in large part that schedule softens up at the end. They're not. It's not like they're going to have to go 12-5 to make the playoffs. I agree with all of that. I just don't know that they can avoid the disaster start. And I think it's not helpful for them that they go game 1 of the year, Monday Night Football against Buffalo, then Sunday Night Football. They're I think it's Sunday afternoon, a CBS national TV game, and then a 1 o'clock game against the Patriots that I'm sure will be the Romo Nance game. And then all of a sudden, you're against the Chiefs on national TV again. Like, that is, in my opinion, a brutal start that absolutely can be 0-4.
That's why I feel like they obviously have to beat the Patriots, and they need to split one of those games if possible.
So
but 2-4, I think they could recover from. Yeah, I think 2-4.
2-4, by the way, I don't think they would be dead. But 0-4 would mean that you've got to go essentially 11-2 the rest of the way. That's not happening.
No.
If they started 0-4, even if they start 0-2 and then going into that Patriots game where all of a sudden it's a must-win, there's going to be more internal strife there than I think we're giving them credit for. This is not the Chiefs starting slow if they start slow. This is not when Rodgers started slow in Green Bay. It had his famous, like, everybody relax.
Right.
There's going to be no wiggle room for relaxing here. People are going to start to freak out, and there's going to be moves made, and it's going to be like, what's up with the offensive line?
I think if they lose to the Patriots, like if they start 0-3, you're right. Look, they understand how good Buffalo and Dallas are. So I think you've got built-in excuses if you go 0-2 of, okay, we played two of the best teams in the league, and we're getting a new guy acclimated to, a new offense. Okay. Players are adapting to a new offense. We're adapting to Rodgers. So I think you've got some built-in excuses.
I think that is logical and reality. I don't know that that's how it will be treated. I think what you're saying is, okay, listen, two of our toughest games of the year to start the season. They give us a break there, so to speak. While our schedule softens up, there's a new quarterback. There's a lot of moving pieces. We are going to get some easier games later. I think that is all true. I don't know that that is how it will be treated in New York City. And I don't know that that's you guys know I'm not as big into the back page as you, former ink-stained wretch. However, I will say I do think there is a level of scrutiny that Aaron particularly is going to be under this year that is not common for him, because there is a level of finger pointing at him personally if it does not work out that almost never happened in Green Bay. So I think that's fair or not. I think that's what's coming.
They got that Broncos game. That's the big Nat Hackett game.
Yeah, but that's more the Broncos doing than the Jets doing.
No, Jets are going to be very quickly in must-win games.
No, I understand.
Unlike any other team in the league.
I totally agree. All I'm saying is fair. I think the Broncos are the ones that have upped the pressure on themselves for that game more than the Jets. The Broncos
it's pressure on both. Have been struggling, as he was talking about.
Because they're both backups.
Right. They got to get Dwayne Brown back. He's supposed to be back in a couple of weeks, but he is 37.
Yeah, I mean, he's the oldest second oldest tackle in the league.
So he could get hurt again. And Mekhi Becton,
has been hurt his whole career.
What's going on with him, right? So it's huge. But I think the biggest issue is, what is Aaron Rodgers? Because is he closer to 2021 Aaron Rodgers when he won the MVP for the second year? Or is he second straight year? Or is he closer to the guy we watch